Hi guys, thanks for stopping by. We're here at Nottingham Trent University. Let's go see if we can find someone clever to talk to. So, who are you?
Who am I? Who am I? Do you mean? Well, I'm Andrew Dunn. I'm a lecturer in psychology. I'm a human being. It's a big question. Who are you? And it's closely related to memory, of course.
Well, who am I?
Well, that's a very good question. You are the construct of your interaction with other people, and you're also you're the physical embodiment of a human being. So you're both a social and a physical being. You're basically social meat.
Like meat.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I offer you a drink?
No, sorry, I'll stick with the tea.
See yourself. So, what is memory?
Well, that's quite a big question. Memory's a central part of who we are. It's a record of what we've done and where we've been, and it's central to human cognition.
How does memory affect music? What role does music play with memory, and memory play in music?
Memory and music are intimately linked, I think. They can evoke past memories and emotions, and certainly emotions are excited or activated when you try and remember something, or you hear a particular song, and we associate quite significant events with music, and first love, first kiss, first day at university, last day at university. So I'd say that they were intimately linked, yeah.
So what is it about a certain tune which makes it more memorable?
Well, that's probably to do with the different kinds of rhythms and the way in which certain sequences might be easier to remember than others. But also, you can use the structures of music to learn things. And of course, part of memory is learning. So you can learn your times tables by singing them. You can learn the order of the planets.
2 times 2 is 4.
That sort of thing, yeah. But with music.
If I want to learn something, what sort of music would I listen to?
If you wanted to learn the sequences of the planets or something, you might listen to something that had a regular kind of rhythmic beat that you could repeat it to. But some people have talked about how music can be used to improve memory for exams. And one way that might work is as a kind of context cue. So if you revise while you're reading something or learning something, if you play that tune in your head, you activate context cues which enable you to recall that information more easily. It's called context-dependent memory.
So if I listen to Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus when I'm revising, I should listen to it in the exam as well.
In your own head, yes. I wouldn't recommend taking the track in with you. You know, I'm not suggesting playing it to everyone.
Especially because I listen to it on vinyl, so it's record player. Takes a lot of room on the desk where my pencil's got to go, you know?
Yeah. It's tricky. I can see that. Yeah.
So I find when I'm trying to remember all the chords in a song, I can't. I mean, I get A, and then I go sometimes to C, but then what comes next? I mean, how am I going to remember that?
Okay, so what you're talking about there is procedural memory, and when you're learning to play an instrument or you're learning to drive a car, what you're really doing is training your kind of motor memory, an implicit memory for doing these things. But of course, that kind of then becomes a practice thing, an acquired skill, so that eventually musicians like yourself are really are playing the emotion rather than the chords. They're feeling those emotions, the chords. They're recalling motor memories which express that kind of music.
So, what you're saying is I shouldn't try remember when I'm playing. I should just do what my memory makes me do.
Well, I'm not sure if your memory necessarily makes you do anything, but I think, and I think it's probably a good idea if you want to play a particular tune to try and recall the chord sequences, for example. But unless, of course, you're doing some kind of free-form jazz version of.
My 30-minute jazz odysseys are legendary.
I don't doubt it. You look like a legend.
So you've said a lot of good things today about memory, I think. Now I just need to try and remember it. But how reliable really is memory?
Well, it depends on the kind of memory, really. So factual memory, that's reasonably reliable. And, France, the capital of France is Paris, that sort of thing. But things like autobiographic memory, memory for personal events, that's often not very reliable at all. And it's because it's often confused with other memories, and that can affect the way you not only recall things but also experience them as well. So your personally significant events, which may have been either very positive or very traumatic, like your first S Club concert, then that kind of stuff might not have been as tragic as you remember it, really.
It was a great 28th birthday. So we were looking for a clever person to talk to us today about memory. We found you.
Thank you.
So can you tell us, how does your memory remember to remind you that you are clever?
Sorry, what kind of question's that? What? I mean, are you actually an idiot?
Guess it's back to you in the studio, Mark.